coveted consultant is upgrading its content marketing strategy. Let's talk about LinkedIn. If you consider yourself a serious business person, you're on LinkedIn. If you sell consulting services to businesses in any capacity, you're on LinkedIn. But LinkedIn, like every other social platform, wants content every day. You got to post content, engage with people, respond to comments quickly. How are you supposed to keep up with all of that? Learning the LinkedIn platform, creating content for the LinkedIn platform, managing your LinkedIn presence, it's a full-time job. The tab is open in your browser. The app is chiming on your phone. The distractions are endless. However, LinkedIn is the premier B2B social networking platform. You got to have a presence there, but you got to do it in a way that makes sense. So here's my new, clearly stated boundary. LinkedIn is allowed to send me clients, but LinkedIn is not allowed to dominate my time. So how do we work that out? Let me recap a few lessons from earlier in this video series so the plan makes more sense to you. For the last 10 years, I've been creating videos on YouTube. My count at this moment is 487 videos. And here's some things I've learned from putting in that much effort. The first is you should dedicate your time to creating a body of work. This shows your clientele how serious you are about the topic. It helps make your work more real. The experience clients have and the results they get are more obvious. Point number 2, as a result of creating that body of work, you're going to find there are a couple of major ideas that drive the most attention and momentum for your business. In my case, there are 3 or 4 videos here that make up almost half of the views of my entire channel. I did the math in an earlier video. Now that you see that the 80-20 principle has taken place, you should focus your energy on creating more of those top 20% type videos. Here's point number 3. And now that you know what small set of content pieces are creating the vast majority of your results, you can hyper-focus here. First, automate the distribution of your best performing content pieces using a small advertising budget. Secondly, double and triple down on these ideas. Learn to communicate them better, faster, and sharper. For years in my business, I was trying to reinvent the wheel, say some new, clever thing that no one had ever heard of before. I should have spent more of my time refining and sharpening those ideas that have proven to profitably attract new clients. I'm making changes to my LinkedIn profile right now. Just before I make those changes, I want to show you the existing disconnect I'm describing. As of right now, this second, my LinkedIn profile reads as follows. The headline says, transform your consulting into curriculum to scale beyond one-on-one work. My tagline says, I help B2B experts scale by turning their consulting into curriculum. Now, everything here is true, but there is some messaging breakdowns here. First of all, no paying customer or client has ever asked me to help them transform their consulting into curriculum. My clientele has never used that phrase. I'm only using it here because I'm trying to find a clever way of saying productize. Let's dissect this further a bit. I have to admit that transform your consulting into curriculum is not a phrase that consultants use. It's not how they think about their business. I also have to admit that productizing is not a phrase that B2B consultants use. It's not how they think about their business. But let me tell you, I love me some productizing. I love talking about productizing. And I can keep talking about it if I want. But if I'm using a term that my best clientele doesn't understand, then that means that I'm going to have to teach it to every single prospective client and customer. I'm forcing myself to create more content because I'm being stubborn about the words I choose to use. Now, I can blame LinkedIn all I want for forcing me to create more content, but I got to be honest that I'm making some mistakes too. I'm part of the problem. Honesty break. Is there a word or phrase that you're stubborn about, even though you know your clientele doesn't understand it? Post that phrase in the comment below. The question still remains, Alzay, what language should you use here? What should you be talking about? Well, let's use our 80-20 principle to inform that. If I go back to my YouTube channel, go to videos, sort by most popular, there are 3 standout videos here, and 2 of them are about finding new clients. Maybe that's what this should say. Some version of finding new clients. Now, at this point, my inner expert is going to scream. But Alzay, we can't just throw productizing away. You care about it so much. You study it so much. You're going to make all your clients do it anyway. The adult in me has to sanity check that. If what you want is a trusted, consistent approach to attract new clients, my job is to figure out how productizing helps you get there. But I got to talk about what you want to talk about. Otherwise, I'm just forcing some philosophy onto you. And nobody likes that. Now, do I know how to help you get more clients? Absolutely. I've been doing it for years. But what I know now, after 10 years of experience working with clients and after making 480 some odd YouTube videos, is how to help you get those clients with the minimum amount of content pieces based around 80-20 principles using ethical automation in the form of small advertising budgets. I almost finished this video without showing you the stats. This plan that I'm talking about is already working on LinkedIn. Let me show you. Here's what's happening behind the scenes. If you look at content performance over the last year, my content has gotten a 35,000% impression increase. Over the last year, so many more people have seen my content. Over the past year, look at engagements. There's been a 16,000% increase in engagements. So many more people have engaged with the content. If you look at people who have viewed my profile, 1,000 people have viewed my profile over the last year. Unfortunately, LinkedIn's dashboard is broken. I can't show you a percent increase over the last year because each of these selections all say previous week. But you can see in the context of everything I'm showing you, as people see the content impressions, interact with it, engage, they choose to visit my profile. A profile visit is an active interest in your services. And if I was just a little bit more focused on how to turn all that activity into new clients, well, we'd be smoking, wouldn't we? But you can see, even in its unfinished parts, this updated approach is creating more momentum. In my mind, there are a couple of takeaways from today's video. Number one, you don't have to create content for all these social platforms. In fact, creating all that content just takes you away from your highest and best use. Number two, if you're going to get the greatest return from these social platforms, focus your content around what you do best and what your clientele wants to hear most. Third, you need to systemize all of that so this project has boundaries and it doesn't overwhelm your daily effort.